ATVs, or all-terrain vehicles, have been on farms for decades. Small, maneuverable, and fast, they can take us places other vehicles often can't go. Unfortunately, they can also be dangerous. For a while, ATVs were one of the leading causes of serious injuries and fatalities on farms in Oregon. Fortunately, injury rates have gone down a lot in recent years. This is mostly because they are increasingly being replaced by something safer: UTVs.
What's a UTV? A utility terrain vehicle that is often used off-road and usually has four-wheel drive. It can carry between 2 and 6 people. They are also referred to by brands or models like Gator, RTV, Mule, or Razor.
UTVs may have a lower injury rate than ATVs, but things can still go wrong. There are many UTV-related serious injuries and fatalities each year in the workplace, many of those occurring within the ag industry. These can be avoided by understanding their hazards and following the safety steps provided in this training. First things first, always make sure you're picking the safest vehicle for the job. In many cases, that's a car or pickup. If you can use one of those to transport yourself or complete your work, do it. If your pickup isn't feasible for the job or the terrain, the UTV can be safe and effective when handled properly. In those rare occasions where you truly can't use a pickup or UTV, an ATV may still be the right choice. By selecting the safest vehicle for the task at hand, it gives you the best chance of going home safely at the end of the day. Make sure to wear your seatbelt anytime you are in a UTV with a rollover protection structure, or ROPS. A UTV equipped with ROPS is designed to protect you if the machine tips or rolls. But ROPS can only protect you if you're secured inside the vehicle. If your machine starts to tip, your instinct might be to try to stick out your foot to prevent a rollover, or use your hands to push against hills or trees for balance. But these actions can lead to serious injury. UTVs are too heavy to push back down in many cases. Like a roller coaster, keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. Passengers in a UTV might be enjoying the ride, taking in the scenery, or be otherwise unaware of the road ahead of them. But if your passenger is unbuckled and you take a sudden left turn, your passenger might find themselves taking a sudden right turn out of the machine. Always remind them to wear their seatbelts. In some height-restricted environments, like an orchard, ROPS may be removed from the UTV, or a vehicle without ROPS may be selected in order to increase clearance and avoid damaging trees or crops. This does, however, remove an important safety feature that protects us in accidents. In these cases, it's important to adjust your speed to match driving conditions and avoid terrain that might be too steep for the machine. In cases where ROPS are removed, seatbelts should not be worn. A UTV can weigh between 1,200 and 1,600 pounds. If a rollover occurs without ROPS, there is nothing protecting you from the weight of the machine landing on you. In this instance, jumping free is your best bet. If ROPS are permanently removed, consider removing the seatbelts from the machine as well. When driving a car or pickup, if you take your foot off the gas, the car gradually slows down. But certain types of UTVs aren't equipped with traditional gas pedals, and instead have hydrostatic pedals. In these cases, the forward movement of the vehicle is directly connected to the pressure you're applying to the pedal. This means if you suddenly let your foot off, you don't coast to a stop, you stop. This can cause your cargo, or you, to lurch forward, and you run the risk of hitting your face on the steering wheel, windshield, or roll bar. especially in hydrostatically controlled UTVs. Always accelerate and decelerate gently and smoothly. Whatever cargo you might be carrying, make sure to secure it. If you don't, it could go flying in a sudden stop. At a minimum, move the cargo to the front of the bed. Cargo beds are for just that, cargo. They are not overflow passenger seating. If your UTV has 2 seats, it can carry 2 people. If it has 4, it can carry 4. That doesn't mean 2 in the seats, 4 more in the cargo bed, and 2 hanging off the running boards. Every UTV has a total payload capacity limit, including the weight of your passengers, cargo, and anything you are towing. Avoid overloading your vehicle with too many people, too much stuff, or too heavy of a trailer. Overloading it can lead to increased wear and tear on your equipment and potentially damaging your ability to stop when needed. One of the tasks commonly done with ATVs is spraying. A spray tank with a liquid payload on your cargo rack is handy, but can make the vehicle very unstable and prone to tipping over. It is increasingly common to see this task performed with UTVs instead. With that said, loading a spray tank in the bed of a UTV will raise the center of gravity of the machine and can still lead to tipping if the terrain is too steep. Avoid slopes or steep hills and adjust speed while carrying tall, heavy cargo. UTVs have the increased capacity to bring safety equipment into the field with you. If you're spraying, consider adding more PPE, a decontamination kit, or a spill kit to your load. If you're operating in a higher fire risk area, consider adding a fire extinguisher. First aid supplies can be stored in glove boxes or mounted to cargo racks so they are accessible in an emergency. Assess your risks and exposures and decide what safety equipment is appropriate for your needs. You may have learned to operate UTVs in more recreational environments, like the sand dunes, in the snow, or playing in the mud. This may lead to unsafe behaviors carrying over to the workplace. Set behavioral expectations for employees related to speed, seatbelts, and PPE, and hold everyone to it. It's generally legal to drive UTVs on public roads for ag purposes, but they are significantly less safe than a car or pickup in a collision with another vehicle. Consider time of day, visibility, traffic volume, and distance of travel before roading a UTV. If you're facing those hazards, think about loading your equipment onto a trailer or using flagging or escort vehicles before hitting the road. Check that lights are functioning and visible before driving on public roads in low light conditions. And always ensure a slow-moving vehicle triangle is visible from the rear before entering public roadways. UTVs require regular maintenance to ensure maximum longevity and safety. Refer to the manufacturer's guidelines on maintenance requirements and always perform a pre-use inspection prior to use. Ask yourself these questions. Is there any sign of oil, fuel, or coolant leaks? Are the tires in good condition and at a suitable pressure? Are lights, SMVs, and other safety indicators present and visible? Is the seatbelt functioning and in good repair? Is the windshield clean and free of damage that might impair visibility? Are the brakes and steering functioning properly? Always report and tag out damaged or unsafe equipment. UTVs provide a great option for tasks on the farm or worksite that can't be done using cars or pickups, and are often a safer choice than ATVs. Hopefully now, you've got a firm grasp on what it means to use them safely. For more information, visit safe.com/agsafety.